Good morning. I am Dr. N.L. Vijaya, Associate Professor and PG Coordinator, Government College for Women, Kolar. I take the privilege of taking Principles and Practice of Auditing for 6th semester BCom students. In this video, I will be explaining you all about the origin and evaluation of auditing, meaning and definition of auditing. Let us start with the origin and evaluation of auditing. The term audit is derived from the Latin term adire, which means to hear. In early days, an auditor used to listen to the accounts read over by an accountant in order to check them. Auditing is as old as accounting itself. It was in use in all ancient countries such as Mesopotamia, Greece, Egypt, Rome, UK, and also in India. Even the Vedas in India contain reference to the accounts and auditing. Kautilya in his book Arthashastra has given detailed rules for accounting and auditing of public finances. The original objective of auditing was to detect and prevent errors and frauds. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವುದಾದರೆ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದವನ್ನು ಲ್ಯಾಟಿನ್ ಪದವಾದ ಅದಯರ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಅದಯರ್ ಪದದ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಲಿಸುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ಎಂದರ್ಥ. ಆಗಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಪರಿಶೋಧಕ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನನ್ನು ಆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಲು ಹೊರಟ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಳುವುದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಆಲಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದಯರ್ ಎಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲಿಸುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ಎಂದರ್ಥ. ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುರಾತನವಾದದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪುರಾತನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಳೆಯದೋ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹಳೆಯದು, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸುಮಾರು ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಮೆಸೊಪೊಟೋಮಿಯಾ, ಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ರೋಮ್, UK ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಪ್ರಚಲಿತವಾಗಿ ಇತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ವೇದಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಹ ಈ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಇದೆ. ಕೌಟಿಲ್ಯ ಇವರು ಬರೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಈ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೌಟಿಲ್ಯರವರು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಹಣಕಾಸು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಪರಿಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎನ್ನುವ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಪರಿಶೋಧನೆ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ವಂಚನೆಗಳಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದು, ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಹಾಗೂ ಆ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುವುದು ಹಾಗೂ ಆ ವಂಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಓನರ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತರುವುದು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ and prevent errors which is done in the organization, and also not only to detect and prevent the errors but also its main objective is to identify any frauds which is there in the organization while preparing the books of accounts. If they have committed any kind of fraud, it is the duty of the auditor to check it. Not only frauds but also errors. Both he has to check, errors and frauds he has to check. Auditing evolved and grew rapidly after Industrial Revolution in the 18th century. With the growth of the joint stock companies, the ownership and management became separate. As we know, during 18th century in our country, So there was industrial revolution took place. With the growth of giant stock companies, the ownership and management became separate. So this separation made an auditing to grow very rapidly. It has gained its importance. When the management and the ownership became separate, the owners or the shareholders or the real owners needed a report from the independent expert on the accounts of the company, which is managed by the board of directors who are the employees of that company. As such, so the importance of auditing, it has become very essential. In India, the Companies Act 1913 made audit of the company compulsory. It has made the mandatory. With the increase in the size of the companies and the volume of transaction, the objective of audit shifted and audit was expected to ascertain whether the accounts were true and fair rather than only detection of errors and frauds. That means to say that the objective of auditing is not only to detect the frauds and errors but also to ascertain or to ensure the true and fair values of the accounts which is prepared by the management while running the business. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ 18ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಆಯಿತು ಆಗ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳೇನಾಯಿತು, ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟು ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಫೇರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಪನಿ ಅದೊಂದು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಎಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಎಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಚುಯಲ್ ಸಕ್ಸೆಷನ್ ಅದೊಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ತನ್ನ ಪಾಡಿಗೆ ಅದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಂಥವರು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಕುತೂಹಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿ ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕಿರೋ ಅಂಥ ಕಂಪನಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಈ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅಂಥ ಕಾಳಜಿನೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾಳಜಿನೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು 18th ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬ ಬೃಹದಾಕಾರವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ 1913 ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅಂಥ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋವಂಥ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಆಡಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿಸಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಮೊದಲಿನ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ರಾಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಂಥ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗು ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೇ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅದೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸು ಏನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಆ ತೋರಿಸಿರೋ ಅಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರೂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೇರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೇರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಎನ್ಶೋರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಕೂಡ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆಡಿಟರ್ದು ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ದು ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. The Companies Act 1913 has prescribed for the first time qualification of auditors. The International Accounting Standards Committee and the Accounting Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India have developed standard accounting and auditing practices to guide the accountants and auditors in the day-to-day work. The later developments in auditing pertain to the use of computers in auditing and accounting. It can be said that auditing has come a long way from hearing of accounts to taking the help of computers to examine computerized accounts. So we can say that, or as per the available records, it says that the first time qualification of an auditor is prescribed in the Companies Act 1913, and whatever the standards or whatever the audit practices the auditor has to follow, which is developed by the International Accounting Standards Committee and the Accounting Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So these two organizations have developed the standards, accounting standards and auditing practices. That means how to carry out the auditing process. So about this, so these two organizations have developed the standards to be followed while undertaking the auditing process. So later developments, it is very important. So earlier they used to hear from the accountant whatever he is telling you, they used to hear. So now we are in the stage of using the computers for the purpose of verification of books of accounts. And so now we can say that auditing has moved from the stage of just hearing from the accountant, so now till the using of computers in order to verify the books of accounts. ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ 1913 ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಹತೆಗಳು ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ಎರಡು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಸೇರಿ ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತರ ಇವು ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರು ಮತ್ತು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟು ಆ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಆಡಿಟರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ರಾಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಈ ಎರಡು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಈಗ ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗಳು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಈ ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್, ಆಲಿಸುವುದು, ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಆಲಿಸುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಆಡಿಟರ್ಸು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸನ್ನು ಆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೀಗ ನಾವು ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Now we will move on to the meaning of auditing. As I told you, the term auditing is derived from the Latin term adhere, which means to hear. In early days, an auditor used to listen to the accounts read over by an accountant in order to check them. Auditing simply, it means verification and examination of books of accounts. It is done to ascertain the reliability and validity of information. The auditing process can be started only when accounting ends. In other words, we can say that an audit is an attempt to find out whether the financial statements reflect the true and fair results and financial position of the company or an institution. ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ನುವ ಪದವು ಲ್ಯಾಟಿನ್ ಪದದ ಅದಯರ್ ಎಂಬ ಪದದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ ಆಡಿಟರು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೋ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಇದ್ರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅಥವಾ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್. ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು, ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಿದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್. ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೋ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಾ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಥವಾ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಈ ಪದದ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳ ಅಥವಾ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು. ಈ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೆ ಆಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Now we will move on to the definition of auditing. Let me explain the first definition given by Spicer and Pegler. According to him, auditing is such an examination of books of accounts and vouchers of business as will enable the auditor to satisfy himself that the balance sheet is properly drawn up so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the business, and that the profit and loss account gives true and fair view of the profit or loss for the financial period according to the best of information and explanation given to him and as shown by the books, and if not, what respect he is not satisfied. It is very big definition given by Spicer and Pegler. So he says that auditing is an examination of books of accounts, and why it is done? It is done to satisfy himself that the balance sheet and other accounts show the true and fair values, and that too for certain financial period. Not only that, and also he says that to the best of the information and explanation given to him and as shown by the books, and if not, in what respect he is not satisfied. That means he should be first satisfied with the way of doing the accounts in the organization, and the auditor himself has to satisfy. If he is not satisfied, where he is not satisfied, so he has to mention in the report what he is giving to its owners. And the second definition is given by R.B. Bose. He says that audit may be said to the verification of the accuracy and correctness of the books of accounts by an independent person qualified for the job and not in any way connected with the preparation of such accounts. According to R.B. Bose, so auditing is the process of again verification and accuracy and correctness of the books of accounts by a qualified person, he says. So this verification of correctness or the accuracy, it should be done by a qualified person, so which is there for doing that particular job, and not by a person, not by any other person who is connected with the preparation of such accounts. That means those who prepare the accounts, they should not verify its correctness. So correctness should be verified by an independent person who is qualified to do that activity. And the third definition is given by A.W. Hansen. According to him, an audit is an examination of such records to establish their reliability and the reliability of the statements drawn from them. He says that the audit, so it is an examination of such records. Why they examine such records? In order to establish the reliability on the statements what the business organization has prepared. Now we will move on to the one more definition given by R.K. Moutz. According to him, auditing is concerned with the verification of accounting data with determining the accuracy and reliability of accounting statements and a record. The fifth definition is given by Montgomery, a well-known author. According to this author, it is auditing is a systematic examination of the books and records of the business or the organization in order to ascertain or verify and to report upon the facts regarding the financial operation and the results thereof. So according to this person, he says that so auditing is systematic examination. Why the systematic examination is done? So in order to ascertain, so in order to verify, not only to verify but also whatever they have done, that has to be reported, the facts regarding the financial operation of that particular organization. Not only the financial operation but also on the results thereof should be reported to the concerned people or to the concerned authority or to the owners of the organization. Now let me explain the features of auditing. Before moving to the features of auditing, let me brief the meaning of auditing. So meaning of auditing is, it is the process of verification and examination of books of accounts in the organization with an intention to identify any errors or frauds in that books of accounts, and after verifying the errors and frauds, the same has to be reported to the concerned authority or to the owners. And not only that, to ensure all the books of accounts prepared in an organization ensures or which shows the true and fair values in terms of its operation. Now let me explain features of auditing. The first feature is, audit is a systematic and a scientific examination of the books of accounts. And the second feature is, audit is undertaken by an independent person or by a body of persons who are duly qualified for the job. That means to say that auditing can be undertaken by an independent single person, or it can be undertaken by two or more people who are qualified to audit the books of accounts. The third feature is, audit is a verification of the results shown by the profit and loss account and the state of affairs as shown by the balance sheet. That means audit means verification of results. Which results? The results or the profit or loss shown in the profit and loss account, or verification of the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, what we can see? We can see the values of assets and liabilities. That means, so audit is the process of verification of all the entries which are there in the profit and loss account, and also to verify all the assets and liabilities which is mentioned or which is taken to the balance sheet. And the fourth feature is, audit is a critical review of the system of accounting and internal control. That means the duty of the auditor is not only to verify the correctness of the accounts, but also, so he has to critically review the accounting system which is there in the organization. Not only the accounting system, but also we should review the internal control system. How they have got control system to control different activities in the organization. And the fifth feature is, audit is done with the help of voucher. Definitely, always auditing will be undertaken and verified with the help of vouchers and documents, information and explanation received from the authorities. That means to say that always the process of auditing is undertaken by looking at the vouchers which are available in the organization and verifying with other documents which are available in the organization. After verifying with the vouchers and documents, so auditing is also undertaken, so on the basis of information and explanation provided by the concerned employees or the authorities in the organization. Now the sixth feature is, the auditor has to satisfy himself with the authenticity of the financial statements and report that they exhibit a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the concern. That means The auditor first himself, he has to satisfy, yes, so these balance sheet and profit and loss account and the other accounts are showing authentic features, authentic values. Then only after satisfying himself, he has to report the same to the concerned authorities. And the last feature is the auditor has to inspect, compare, check, review, scrutinize the vouchers supporting the transactions and examine the correspondence minute books of shareholders, directors, memorandum of association and articles of association, etc. in order to establish correctness of the books of accounts. That means to say that in the process of doing auditing for joint stock companies, the auditor has to inspect all the available records, like he has to inspect, he has to compare, he has to evaluate. That is why we call this process as scientific examination of books of accounts. So he has to compare, he has to check, sometimes he has to review, scrutinize the vouchers supporting that particular transaction or supporting the each and every transaction. And not only that, he should also examine the related correspondences to that particular transaction or relating correspondence pertaining to that particular transactions. And you should also check the minutes books of shareholders and the directors, memorandum of association in case of joint stock company, and articles of association in case of joint stock company. In case of partnership firms, he has to verify the partnership deed in order to establish a correctness of the books of accounts. That means to say he has to verify all these documents in order to satisfy himself the accuracy of the accounts or to establish correctness of the books of accounts. Now, let me explain meaning of an auditor. After knowing the meaning of an audit, we will see now who is an auditor. An auditor is a trained professional who is responsible to review and verify the accounting data of any business undertaking pertaining to its business activities. An auditor may be internal auditor or external auditor. Internal auditors are those auditors who are appointed by the company exclusively for their company's audit, whereas external auditors are independent auditors having firms who are hired for the companies subject to an audit. So in simple terms, auditor is a trained professional who is responsible or who comes as an auditor to verify the books of accounts of an organization. So this auditor can be an internal auditor. Internal auditor is a person who is an employee of the organization who is appointed to undertake the audit work continuously in the organization. He is an employee of that particular organization. Whereas external auditor is a person who is independent person qualified to do the auditing job and who is hired from outside. Who is hired from the outside, or either individual person or the auditor may be a firm. So those persons can be hired for the purpose of doing audit. Now, what is the qualification to become an auditor? So in India, in order to become an auditor, so one should be qualified with the chartered accountancy degree. That is, one has to do his CA. The person should be he should possess the chartered accountant degree, or he should be a qualified CA holder. Till now, I have explained to you all the meaning. Before meaning, I have given some introduction. Then meaning I have explained, and the definitions given by different authors, and I have also explained to you all who is an auditor, meaning of an auditor. So now after that I have explained to you all the features of auditor. Now we will move on to the circumstances under which an auditor can suspect the fraud. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರು ಫ್ರಾಡನ್ನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳನ್ನು ಈಗ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಡಿಟರು ಫ್ರಾಡನ್ನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1. When vouchers, invoices, checks, contracts are missing. And the second circumstance is when control accounts does not agree with subsidiary accounts. And the third circumstance is when the difference in trial balance is difficult to locate. And the fourth one is when there is greater fluctuation in gross profit and net profit ratios. And the fifth one is when there is difference between balance and the confirmation of the balance by the parties. And the sixth one is when there is a difference between the stock as per records and the stock physically counted. And the seventh one is when the explanation given by the client is not satisfactory. Eighth one is when there is a overwriting of some figures. And the ninth one is when there is a contradiction in the explanation given by different parties. So under these circumstances, an auditor can suspect that there is a fraud in the recording of business transactions. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವೋಚರ್ಸು, ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸಸ್ಸು, ಚೆಕ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋವಂಥ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸು ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ, ಕಳೆದು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಆಡಿಟರು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಸಬ್ಸಿಡರಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆದಾಗ, ತಾಳೆ ಆಗದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆವಾಗಲೂ ಅವನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ರೇಷ್ಯೂನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಏರಿಳಿತಗಳು ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಫ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕಾದರೂ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನವರು ಕೊಡೋ ಅಂತಹ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರತಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಏನಿದೆ ಆಗ ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನಿಂದ ಆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಆಗದಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಫ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Now we will see what is the procedure to be followed to detect errors. There is a difference between errors and frauds. Error is committed unintentionally, without the intention of doing it. But fraud is done intentionally to have certain financial gain. So as such, both can be there in the business organization. So an auditor has to detect both errors as well as the frauds. So these two concepts you will be studying in the coming sessions. So now let me explain what is the procedure to be followed by an auditor at the time of detecting an error. So point number 1 says that auditor has to check the opening balances from the balance sheet of the last year. And the second thing he has to do is he has to check the posting into respective ledger accounts. And the third thing he has to do is he has to check the total of the subsidiary books. After doing that, the fourth step he should verify all the castings and the carry forwards. And fifth one is he should ensure that list of debtors and creditors tally with the ledger accounts. And the sixth one is he should make sure that all accounts from the ledgers are taken into account. And then after doing that he has to verify the total of the trial balance. After verifying the total of the trial balance, he has to compare the various items from the trial balance with that of the previous year. after comparing, he has to find out the amount of difference, and he should see whether an item of half or such amount is entered wrongly. That means he has to see all the entries are recorded correctly. So then he should check the differences involving round figures such as 1000. Sometimes 1000 may be wrongly entered as 100, or 100 may be wrongly entered as 1000 or 10,000, whatever it is, that he has to clearly verify. Then he should see whether there is a misplacement or a transposition of figures, that is 45 for 54 or 81 for 18, etc. Sometimes by negligence or by a kind of laziness or negligence, instead of posting 45 they might have posted 54, or so instead of 81, 18, 91, 19, so and so on. So that auditor has to clearly verify. After that, ultimately he has to carefully scrutiny all the ledger balances, totalings, tallyings, everything, postings. You should compare with the available vouchers, etc. And finally, you should confirm that, you should see that no entry of the original book has remained unposted. Now let me explain the duties of an auditor in respect of a fraud. So what he should do if he suspects any kind of fraud? First thing he should do is, he should examine all aspects of the finance, and then second thing he should do is, he should watch all the receipts from the counter files or carbon copies or cash memos, sales mart reports, etc. And then you should check thoroughly the salary and wages register, and then you should verify the methods of valuation of stock in the organization. You should check up stock register, goods inward notes, and goods outward books and delivery challans, etc. You should calculate various ratios in order to detect fraudulent manipulation of accounts, and you should go through thoroughly the details of unusual items, and then you should probe into the details of the problems when there is a suspicion. If he suspects anything, any doubt there, so he has to probe into the matter in detail. Then he should exercise reasonable skill and care while performing the duty, and should sometimes make surprise visit to check the books of accounts. All these duties again you will study in detail in the next chapters. So in this session, so I have explained in brief. Hope you have followed, you have understood. So what is the concept of auditing, its meaning, definition, and who is an auditor, and who should audit the books of accounts, etc. Other concepts, let me explain in the other videos in the next session. Thank you very much.